Hi everyone, my name is Mare. I go by Sin City Cross Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. This is Flosstube number 6. Today is Friday, August 9th, and it's probably been about a month. I think I last filmed in July 13th, so it's been a month since I last filmed. I didn't mean to wait this long before filming again, but just I don't know, one thing after another came up, and so here we are. Um, I was on vacation at the end of July. I went back east to visit my family, and then I came back on the 31st of July, and then a couple days later, last Saturday actually, my youngest had all 4 of his wisdom teeth taken out. So I normally would have filmed like on preferably on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, but because I had wanted to film last weekend, but he had his wisdom teeth out. It kind of, um, I don't know, recovery was a little more difficult than expected. So I just kind of spent the day trying to help him get through it, and then I ended up getting sick. I actually started feeling sick when I was at the oral surgeon's office while he was in surgery. I started feeling a like sore throat, and I knew something. I knew I was getting sick. And then later that night, I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm sick. I don't get sick very often, but when I do, I get sick. So Sunday, I just basically I went from the couch to the bed, between sleeping and watching Young Sheldon. I've been binge watching that and totally obsessed with that show right now. And then I had just no desire to stitch on Sunday, and so now here we are the following week. It's actually a Friday. Ended up getting half the day off. Today is my birthday, so I was like, can I leave a little early? So now I'm just yeah, have the rest of the day off. Thought I would film. So I'm just getting over. It actually ended up being COVID. I tested myself on Monday, and it's the first time that I've ever had COVID. So I'm just getting over that now, and I apologize if my voice is kind of, you know, phlegmy. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully you can still understand me. And oh yeah, speaking of that, let me turn the volume up because um, I've had some people say I'm kind of quiet on the video, so I need to try to speak up and turn the volume up higher. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna be hopefully not coughing much and drinking water often. So I have a lot to share because it's been a month. So in you know normal tradition, I guess this is floss tube number 6. So I think the first floss tube was a whip parade, and then the other 4 were normal. And I've always started with previous FFOs. So my last video I did a lot of nautical FFOs, and I don't have I keep my Patriotic. I keep that out from May until sometime in August, and then I start bringing out the fall decorations, which I haven't done yet. But I don't have because I don't have like bee displays or strawberry displays or sunflower displays. I mean, I would love to have those. I just don't right now. I haven't gotten around to stitching any of that. Well, I have a little bit. I'll be showing you here shortly, but um, so I think I'm just going to, well, I have a ton of fall and Halloween, like a ton, because it's my favorite season to stitch for. But I haven't pulled all of it out yet or any of it out really, because I haven't taken down the Patriotic. But I'll probably do that in a couple of weeks. But I do have a couple that were like, I don't know, they weren't put away with the rest of the things. They were just somewhere stashed away somewhere else on their own, and I just came across them. So I'm just going to show you those. So this first one is Pumpkin Spice Farm, and this is from, I believe it's Hands On Design. And I stitched this, I want to say maybe in 2021. I did not really start keeping track of what I like my fabric and all of that until 2022. So, but I do know that this is like a 14 count Aida, probably a store, a store Aida, and I used all the called for colors. I stuffed it with fiber fill and backed it with some Lady Dot chenille. And this next one is it's Seasons of the Heart by the Blue Flower, and this chart was in the fall 2021 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, but you can also now purchase. She's since released it to the general public, so you can now purchase the chart. But she has all seasons. This one is autumn, but she also has winter, summer, and spring. But this is the only one I've stitched so far. Eventually, I'd like to stitch all of them, but it's filled with walnut shells, and I used some Lady Dot chenille. I don't remember the color of it. And then I just put in this pumpkin fabric. I stitched this on an 18 count, I believe it was just store-bought Aida that I dyed myself. I think I just dyed it with maybe with a little bit of like pearl gray Rit dye. I used pretty much all the called for colors. The gray of the heart is actually a sulky. And then I did put some diamante in the flowers. Because around the time that I was stitching this, I was watching, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking it so much. I gotta stop shaking the table. Around the time that I was stitching this, I was watching the Blue Flower Flosstube, and she was talking something about, she was like giving a challenge, like stitching something with sparkly or making something sparkly. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll just, put some sparkly things in the flowers. So yeah, I really like this one. Well, I like all of them, but so the next previous FFO fully finished object that I have came from this magazine. It's a Cross Stitch Designs Ondori. I thrifted this book. It's a Japanese book, and the design that I stitched was this one. I really love the colors. It's very autumnal, and they just reminded me of growing up in the 70s, and some wallpaper that my parents have in one of the bedrooms that they still have. So this is the fully finished of that one. I stitched this one last year, and it's just on a 14 count Aida. I used all the called for colors, and I just finished it in this. It's a hoop that you can get at Michael's in their cross stitch section, and I just finished it with some backing paper. I really love this one. This is one actually that I could put out now because it's like sunflowers and fall. So those are the 3 fully finishes that I'm going to show you now. I have a ton more autumn and Halloween, but I don't want to bombard you with all of them in one video. I mean, there's got to be like 20 to 30 of them, so I'll probably just spread them out over the next however many videos I end up making between now and Halloween. So you'll see more in the future. And then, so now I will move on to my current FFOs. So before I left for vacation, I was actually supposed to leave on July 23rd, but we were flying Delta, and they were like the hardest hit. It was right after that whole global outbreak situation happened, and Delta unfortunately was like the hardest hit airline for that, so they ended up canceling our flight. We were supposed to leave the 23rd at like 6 a.m. They canceled our flight, and they rescheduled us Thursday at midnight. So that Tuesday I ended up just running a bunch of errands. I had to take my son to a couple of doctor's appointments, went grocery shopping, My day was pretty much filled with all of that, and then Wednesday I just spent all day here in my little craft area, fully finishing things. So one of the ones that I fully finished is Redbird Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I started this one on my birthday in 2022, and I just finished stitching it a couple months ago. And it's on an oatmeal Aida. Is it? Yeah, I guess it is. It's on a like a 14 or 18 count oatmeal Aida. And it just finished it in this thrifted frame. It kind of looks a little bit off center, but um, it's the pattern itself is not quite symmetrical. Because I know when I was stitching, I was like, why is my, like, one of my flowers was closer to the bird than the other one? And I checked the pattern, and that's how it is on the pattern. So it's a reproduction sampler, I believe. Um, but yeah, there's a little extra space here than there's here. So, but if I were to move this closer, then this flower would get cut off. But anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, this is a really old frame that I thrifted, and I think, yeah, just put some cardboard. I think the cardboard was already in there, and I just popped it in there. This next one, actually, I think I'm gonna have to redo this one because it was a blue plastic hoop that I painted black, but you can see the paint that I use, it's already chipping off the plastic. It's not sticking to the plastic. So, and also this was some old black Aida that was folded, in those flat packages, store Aida, and it has like this crease down the middle that I tried really hard to iron out and had a hard time getting it out. So I thought maybe once I stretched it in the hoop that it would eventually flatten out, but it's still pretty noticeable. Also because I have some batting in here, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to redo this one. But this is Read in Peace by Lola Cross Stitch. This is when I started in, I think, 2021, and I finished it this past spring finally. But yeah, I need to find some other way to fully finish this. The next one is Hope Song by Heartstring Samplery. I just finished this one a couple months ago as well. And this again is a thrifted, mm, thrifted, oh my god, thrifted frame. Jeez, I do know English. So it is kind of cut off here. In the pattern, it shows this being finished on a really neat paddle that Beth Twist's husband made, but I have not been able to find it. So for now, I'm just putting it in this frame, and hopefully someday I will be able to find that board to finish this on. And this one, I think I stitched on a 32 count platinum Lugana. And then my last one is this is a fully finished, like a redo, because I originally had this one in a frame, and the frame was too big for it. I had some, what did I have? Scrapbooking paper. So the frame was kind of like the same size as this, but there's a big gap in here, so I had scrapbooking paper behind it, and then I had it like taped in there with some duct tape or something, but it just kept sliding down and it was not staying. So I took it out of the frame. Like, I gotta figure something else out. So I just found this at Michael's. This little board. It reminds me of a rocking chair that my parents have. And yeah, I just stuck it on there, glued it on there. Maybe I'll add some trim at some point. I was even considering painting it, but I like the color of the wood and how it kind of brings out some of the brown in the pattern. And this pattern actually is, I don't recall the exact name of it, but it's by, I think it's Cute Patterns by Maria. She's a Ukraine designer. And I believe when I started this one, I think it was in like 2020, 2021, it was a stitch along. So like she would reveal, you know, a different piece every week or something. But yeah, it's really cute. I had this hanging in my kitchen. Okay, so those are all of my current FFOs. And then now I have a few finishes to show you. These are actually new, some of them are new starts and finishes since the last time that I saw you. A couple of these, so it's this pattern, Vintage Ornaments by JVW Designs. There's 3 designs in this chart, and I had finished 2 of them in, I think it was probably like December of 2022, and I still had that pattern on my whip list, and I was like, all right, I really need to get this off my whip list. I need to finish that last one. So I did, and as I was finishing it, there's a lot of beads in these, so as I was putting the beads on, I noticed that I had forgotten some of the red beads in these 2, so I actually had to go back and finish those. But oh my goodness. Well, just forget about that, ignore that. So here they are. They're all on like a 14 count Ada scraps that I had. Put all the beads in. The chart came with, like, there's a star, and I think that's the only bead that it came with. But all the other ones are like Mill Hills or some little beads that I got at like the craft store that are the same size as Mill Hill. So those were a lot of fun. I will hopefully get those FFO'd, fully finished into ornaments this year. And then my next one is, pinned this to the other thing by mistake. Okay, this one is Patriotic Santa by the Nebby needle. This one was in a Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine from a couple of years ago. I did have to change some of the colors because one of the colors was pretty much the same color as my fabric, so I did change out, like this was supposed to be the light blue, so I did change that out. And there's like a Christmas list in his hand, but it just, I don't know, it didn't really look like, I guess I probably could have tried to, I don't know. It just didn't look right, so I took that out. So I don't know, I guess maybe I'll make him into an ornament, or maybe I can use him to make like a mini stand-up. I've never done a stand-up before, so maybe I could try to make that into a mini stand-up. And then the next one, this was a purchase, a start, and a finish since the last time I showed you. I ended up, this is the main thing that I ended up working on when I was on vacation, just because it's a 14 count Ada. It was easy to see the lighting at my parents' house. They live in an old Dutch colonial and tiny windows, so it's pretty dark in there. Lighting is not very good for cross stitching. So I need something that I could easily see. So this is Bumble Bee 3 by Asbury's Echoes on Etsy. So it's called Bumble Bee 3. It comes with 3 different patterns. They're meant to be like made into pillows, which is what I plan on doing. But as I was stitching them, I was like, oh, this would have been really cute just all together in one long piece to hang on, make it into a wall hanging to hang on your wall. But like I was saying earlier, I don't really have any bead displays, so I really wanted to make these into pillows and put them in a dough bowl. The fabric is, it's like a beehive fabric. I purchased this from Claire Brown Cross Stitch in the UK. Unfortunately, she's no longer in business, but it is a printed fabric, and I have seen other people using a very similar fabric, so I know it's out there somewhere. Maybe I think Fabric Flare is the company that does a lot of printed fabrics, so maybe they might have it. I'm not sure, but I've had this fabric for a while, and I never knew what I was going to stitch on it. And then I saw these patterns that Rhonda had put out, and I was like, oh, that fabric is just perfect for those. So these are really quick, really fun designs to stitch. And then hopefully, maybe by the next video, I'll have had time to make them into little pillows. Okay. So, pardon my Flosstube nose, itchy nose. Okay, so those were my finishes and a couple of starts that I had. Next up, I guess I'll get into whips. I had a couple of those, and then I have several stitch-alongs that I'm working on. I've just been like fully immersing myself into the cross stitch community and starting all these sales, and but I'm not like gonna beat myself up if I can't keep up with them, you know. A lot of them are just open-ended, so you can join and finish whenever you want, which is good for me, because I don't want to be stressed out about having all these deadlines and trying to finish these things. But I have started a couple of new ones. Oops. Sorry, I can't find it. Okay, well, I can't find the one that I'm looking for, but so let me just, oh, here. It's right in front. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is actually a stitch along that I had started, tiered tray sal. So this one is stitchy tier, but for the sal you can stitch any tier tray that you want to. Erin Elizabeth has a ton. Is it Madame Chantilly, I think, is the one. She has a lot, but hers are called like cake tiers, but those would work because, you know, there's like different levels. And I know there's other ones out there. I think Tiny Modernist has a few. She has like Wizard of Oz and maybe Alice in Wonderland. Allison of AZ Family Zoo, she's working on one. I think it's a cake stand, and it's by Stitching with the Housewives, so even that works. But I started this one on August 1st, and I stitched on it for 2 days, and then I got sick and didn't really feel like doing much more. But this is as far as I've gotten. Whoops. Let's try this. So I got a good bit done. I started in the middle, so I've got the middle tier done, and then I just moved up to the top and got part of the scissors in. I'm stitching this on the called for. I think it's light taupe Lugana, 28 count, I believe. I'm using all the called for colors except for the white. I'm actually using the Floss, the DMC Floss. I think I had shown that maybe in my last video, but it's slightly thicker than DMC, and it you only need to use one strand. I'm stitching this all the other DMCs I'm using 2/2, but with the Floss I'm just using one strand because it's thicker than one strand of just regular DMC. I don't know if it's like 1.5. It might be like 1.5 times the thickness of one strand of DMC, but this is what it looks like. So that one is Stitchy Tear by Erin Elizabeth Designs, and that's in my this bag that I made myself. I thought it was fitting because I had, you know, scissors and all the different sewing notions. Sorry if you hear, I tried to start filming this before my husband came home from work. We live in a, you know, our house is pretty open concept, and I'm in the loft, and it's open to the downstairs. So anytime anybody's in the kitchen, you can hear water running, you can hear the ice machine, you can hear pots and people knocking around pots and pans. So that's why I'd like to do this on when as few people are home as possible, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. Okay, the next that tiered tray, it's hashtag tiered tray Sal. So if you want to join in, you know, tag me and use that hashtag, and I'd love to see what you are working on. Got a couple of people. I think someone's doing. Actually, a couple of people are doing the stitchy tier, and Allison is doing a stitching the housewives. It's like a cake tier. So this next stitch along, this one, I think I showed this one to you before. I think I had started it like the day before I filmed my last Flosstube. And then I worked on it. I went to the Midsummer Stitch hosted by Lindy Stitches, the online event, and I spent all day Saturday stitching on this. But it is called the hashtag is in full glory BB Sal, and it's hosted by Chris the Camping Stitcher and Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. This is what it looks like. This is in the Sweet Land of Liberty book by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 28 count ice blue Lugana, and I was able to finish the house. I get my board. So this was a really good fill-in for while I was at the online retreat. Or, you know, it was a really good piece to stitch on because I could watch and participate and talk, and also, you know, just work on filling in. This is just I also started on the border and apparently just stopped in the middle of the border, so I got a stray thread there. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I don't know, that house is a good chunk of the pattern, so all I have left now is like the flag and the eagle and the flower urn in the border. So not too much more to go. And I just put that one in my Patchwork and Poppies bag with the strawberries and cherries. Very summery. Okay, and then let's see. The last stitch along is, oh, I did not bring it up here. Okay, hang on 1 minute. I'm gonna go grab it. Okay, so here it is. Here's the next one that I'm working on. I spent probably 8 days in July trying to catch up on the June and July section, and then I spent the last couple of days this month trying to catch up. So I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the July section. I so close, and I had actually wanted to try to finish it before I filmed, but again, I was just kind of racing the clock trying to get this video done. But this is Autumn is as Joyful by Lola Studios, and here it is. So last time I showed this, I think I only had half of this Quaker done. So since then, I did the other half, and I've done like all of this down here and put in the side of the acorn. Um, I can't really, I don't really know. I think this was June, and some of these small motifs were June, and then this was like the July section here. So I just have a tiny bit more on this Quaker to go, and I'll be done with July, and then I got to start on August, which I believe is over here on this side. So this is a stitch along that was started in January of this year by the Black Cat Stitchery, and they are a local needlework store in Illinois. And they have a Facebook group, and I believe it's called Autumn is as Joyful Sal. And what they did was they broke out the pattern in chunks. So, you know, they give you little assignments like this is January, February, March, April, and all the way through December. So the goal is hopefully to have this completed by December of 2024. So I am like really determined to try and keep up with this one, because I don't always keep up with Sal's, but I really want to keep up with this one because I love it so much, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's very manageable sections. I can probably finish a section in maybe about 5 days normally. This one was probably a little longer because there's a whole lot of, you know, filling in here. So that section probably took me a little longer, but typically like 5 days. So I have, what, August, September, October, November, 5 more months to go, so 5 more sections to go. And I don't know, some of you may have like seen or heard about this pattern, but the center motif, the saying says autumn is as joyful and sweet as an untimely end. And there's been a lot of controversy about that. People are saying how it's, you know, it's kind of, you know, not very like positive, and it's kind of depressing, but, you know, I don't know. I think Lila Studios, actually, I don't even know if her name is actually Lila or not, but the designer explained it, you know, and what it means and everything. And it's not as bad as it sounds, but I had Googled, I was just curious to see if there was something else that I could try to fit in there. And so I had found a quote. It says, autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. But I am not a designer, and I was kind of concerned about how I was going to be able to chart it and fit it in there. So this actually is going to be like in October, we're going to be doing this section. So I don't really have to worry about it. I didn't have to worry about it for a couple more months. So I just kind of, you know, didn't really, I just put it aside and didn't really think any more of it. But Lila Studio, if you follow her on Instagram or on Facebook, she actually shared that same quote and has charted it and made it available to everybody for free on her, I think it's on a website, maybe on her website, I think she said. So that's really cool. I'm excited. I don't have to worry about, you know, charting it. so there's that one. These are all the floss colors. Kind of, whoops, kind of a mess right now, but. And then I'm keeping these in my another Patchwork and Poppies bag. I just love this bag so much. These floss tags are actually, I purchased these from Amazon. I got the idea from Sarah of Sarah Stitchy Spot. She uses these same floss tags. kind of just to keep it consistent, you know, because I love all of the beautiful floss tags. Like I have some from Team Egner, and I have some from somebody else. I can't remember her name right now, but you know, you put your floss on these, and then all of your floss, like once you're done with your project, right, and you put your floss away, and then say you need that color for another project, and then you pull all your colors, and then you end up with like a bunch of different floss drops. So I like that, you know, these are all the same and consistent. But just trying out some different things. Okay, 2 more whips. This one I showed you, when I showed it to you last time, I had the top row done, and I have since done the second row, finished the second row. So this is where I'm at on that one. This is a Sampler of the Sea by Carriage House Samplings, and I'm stitching this on a 28 count. Bestitch Me, I don't remember the name of it. I don't know, Grog maybe? This one's a lot of fun, and it's a very quick stitch, easy quick stitch, and it's very, very pretty. The called for, so I'm using most of the called for, but the called for in the red in the lighthouse is actually it's more of a rust color. I think it's 918 was the called for, 919. I don't know. In person, it looks more like orangey rust, and so I just wanted it to make it a little more red. So I used a 347, and I also changed the color of the crab. The crab is started as blue, which is the same exact blue as all these letters, but I thought it was just a lot of blue, so I wanted to throw in some red in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it red though, because I don't like it. There's not enough contrast between that crab and the coral, so I might still change it back. I don't know. I figured I would just wait until I finish the whole thing, and then I can decide from there what I want to do. If I want to leave it the red, or if I want to change it to blue, or something else. I don't know. We'll see. But I think this one is probably going to end up going away for until next year. I've really been enjoying the nautical stitching the last, month or so, but I'm getting anxious to start stitching on fall. Okay, and then one more whip. I don't think I've pulled this one out since my whip parade, but this one is Miniature Marvels, and it's in the World of Cross Stitch magazine. Let's see, I can tell you what issue it's in. Issue 315. There is no date on some. There was a period of time when they weren't putting actual dates on their magazines, so it's just 315. But if I remember correctly, this is, I think, the winter of 2021, I want to say, because I'm pretty sure it came out in the winter of 2021, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to stitch that. But I actually didn't start stitching it until July 2022. So this is actually one of my oldest whips. Did I show? I didn't show you the picture. I hope I didn't show you the pattern. But here is the picture. It's so pretty. I love it. Just a cute little winter village scene. If you want to see this pattern completed, Carolyn Zook of C Zook Stitch finished hers a couple weeks ago and shared it on her Flosstube, and it's so pretty. but I am nowhere near finished. I'm a little behind. Well, I mean, it was never, it wasn't a stitch along or anything, so I'm really not behind on anything. But I mean, this whip is now 2 years old, so I would really like to get it done. But here's where I'm at. So I worked on this for maybe 2 days in July, and I put in the store. It says store and back stitching, but I'm going to wait until the end to put that in. And then I stitched in some of these trees, and I think maybe some of the snow down here. And this is on a 28 count even weave. It's by MCG Textiles, and it's one of those ones that, you know, I found it at a thrift store for 50 cents. And it's old. It came in like a little bag and really old. I think it was white, and I just rip dyed it with some pearl gray, and I'm just really, really happy with how it came out. And it's just a really fun stitch. So I'm hoping to get this one out more often, you know, closer that we get to Christmas and winter, and hopefully get it done by next winter. I don't know. We'll see. There's so much to stitch on and so little time. Okay, that is it. That's everything that I have stitched on since I saw you last about a month ago. So not too bad. And now I'm going to get into purchases. So I placed an order with Allison at Mrs. AZ Family Zoo. I know I talk about her on every video. She and her husband run an animal sanctuary in Arizona, and she has a website and an Etsy store. So she makes project bags, pot holders. What else does she have in there? She has jewelry that she makes. I think I saw some floss drops in there. But she made a bunch of new bags recently. I guess maybe it's probably been about a month now, I guess. Well, it was before I went on vacation. So anyway, here's one of the bags that I purchased from her. So pretty. Love this fabric. It's got a cute little charm on there. It's just like a little notions bag, or you could use it for makeup, or, you know, traveling with your electronics, your phone, your chargers, whatever. But it's nice. It's very like sturdy and stable, and that's the inside. So it's really, really cute, and I'm always happy to help support her little animal sanctuary and her animals. Back in June, I did a pre-order with Color and Cotton. If you're familiar with Color and Cotton, their fabric, they have both floss and fabric, and both are very, very popular. And they have a Fabric of the Month Club, and they have a Floss Club. The Fabric of the Month Club is very difficult to get into because everybody loves their fabric. So the only time you can get into it is if they have people drop out, and then they'll say, okay, we have some openings, then you have to be like really quick. You know, you can sign up to be on the wait list, and then they'll email you, but you need to be able to see that email really quick because you know, the spots go super fast. So it's really hard to get into that Fabric of the Month Club. So I am not in it, and I'm not in the Floss Club either, but I did order. They had a pre-order, and I think it sounds like it's going to be something that they're going to do fairly regularly. So you pre-order, and then they work on, you know, they dye it, and then it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for them to ship it out to you. So this was pretty much 6 weeks, I think. Just about, maybe a little more than 6 weeks after I ordered it, they shipped it out, and I just received it yesterday. So a few of the pieces that I got were this 28 count linen, and again, I'm not really a linen stitcher, but I'm trying to like gradually get my, you know, maybe get my feet wet and start stitching on more linens and seeing how I like it. But this is called, it's a 28 count, it's a 1/4 yard, and it's called Sampler Gold. I think I actually probably should invest in a ring light because the colors just are not coming through very well. I do have a floor lamp that's right over here shining down, and I have my window open, and I have some lights up above, but it's still not, I guess it's just not the right kind of light. This one is a 20 count Ada called Dove. It's a nice gray. And I got another 20 count, and this one is Storm Cloud Soft. Another kind of a bluish gray. There we go. And I did get one other one, but it's in with a new start in plans that I will show you here shortly. Oh, and then they also sent a couple of complimentary flosses. So hickory sticks, and then this one, oh my goodness, this one is gorgeous. Abyss. Just love this color. So pretty. So that was really cool. It was a nice surprise to get, you know, a couple of complimentary flosses. Because I love their floss too. Sometimes they do like grab bags, so you like miss dyes, and you can get I don't know, it was like a bag of 5 for $5 or something. It's like nice way to try out some of their flosses. I purchased this from Michael's. It's just a whole bunch of fall trims. There's some lace, ribbon, rickrack, some little mini pom-poms. So I do a lot of, you know, like I said, fall stitching and fall finishing, so I thought these would come in really handy. And it's like 40% off, $10, so it was like $6 for all of this. Okay, let's see, what else? Oh, I have my fabric of the month. This is Seraphim 18 count City Lights. Actually, let me take this out of plastic. Oh, look at this. Wow. It's so pretty. It's got some pink and some green modeling in there. It's gorgeous. So that is, I get that through Garan Stitchery. They have a Fabric of the Month Club where one month it's Seraphim and then the next month it's Fabrics by Stephanie, and then it just trades off every month. So this one was Seraphim. And then this is my Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club. I get a 20 count Ada, and this is Coconut Shell. Another very pretty color. Okay, let's see. Just a little bit more. Also, back in June, I did a pre-order with Top Knot Stitcher. She a couple of years ago So I guess I didn't know this, but she used to make her own needle minders, and like I think her business started out as a needle minder business. Um, so a couple years ago, she sold just like a needle minder kit. So it was basically just the neodymium magnets, the really strong magnets that you use to make needle minders, and they were the best magnets. And I love making my own, you know, buying like pins and taking off the back and just making needle minders out of whatever I can find. But I could never find those magnets. I placed a couple of orders through Amazon, but they're either like super teeny tiny, or they were way too big, like quarter sized magnets. So I don't know why I'm having such a hard time just finding the right size. And then they were like too thick, or you know, I need like, you need like just the right width and the right thickness. So when I saw that she was offering these do-it-yourself kits, I was like, yes, gotta get that. So it comes in a tin, and it comes with, she's got a couple of different size magnets in here, which is really nice. And then it comes with the E6000 glue, which is really good glue for gluing the magnets onto the needle minders. And then she gave you just some random little bits that you can, you know, glue magnets and make your own magnets out of. And oh yeah, oh, this is fitting. I totally forgot that this Paris for the Olympics. I love this one. It's the skull with the cactus in it, which is very fitting for where I live. So I got that, and then I got an extra one with just spare magnets, because I just love those magnets so much. And then when I purchased that, I also purchased this chart. This is my first Robin Pickens. I've loved all the bird charts, but this is the first one that I've purchased. And I also bought an 8 by 12 inch piece of 32 count linen by Fiber on a Whim called Sapphire. I thought that would be good for an ornament or something. And just like I said, I'm trying different linens, different dyers, and just trying to find what I like. I mean, I definitely like the Be Stitch Me, but I'd also kind of like to branch out and try different things. So, and then I also got this cute little bird, Caught in Pixels. It's a 3D autumn bird. I'd never seen this before, but it's so cute. I think I had mentioned a few videos ago that like I've never done a strawberry, I've never done a biscornu, I've never done a drum, I've never done anything like that. So my goal for next year is to each month I'm going to do one. So I might start like with 1 month I'll stitch and finish a strawberry. Next month I'll stitch and finish like, you know, a bird. I've started a list of all the different ones that I want to do. So I'm thinking I'm going to start that in January, or I might start it sooner. I don't know, we'll see. But right now I'm just trying to collect all the different shapes and different types of patterns to do that. When I was back home, my sister and I both love to go thrifting, and so we were at this church sale, and I found this velour rickrack. I've never seen velour rickrack, and this is huge rickrack, so I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. Maybe a really big pillow, but I found it in the light blue, and it was also in the it's also in red. So I just thought that was cool and different, and give that a try. And then my last purchase, so when I was back east, my sister, my son and I, my older son, Cameron and I flew to Hartford, and then my mom and my sister picked us up, and then we drove straight, well, we stopped for lunch, and then we drove straight to Stitch New England. I'd never been there before. My sister and I tried to go last October, but because I went to visit my family then as well, just me, and like 2 days after I arrived, I got sick. Like, I always get sick when I travel. I don't know why, but and I took, like, this time I took airborne. I took airborne before I left and before I flew back, and I still got sick. But apparently, you know, airborne doesn't protect against COVID. I don't know. But in October, I got sick, and so we didn't end up going. So we went this time, and finally got to go to Stitch New England. I met Pam, saw her cool shop, and just bought a couple of things there. So I bought Serenity by Teresa Kogut. My friend Barb and I are going to start this on September 1st. I still need to figure out fabric for it. Not sure. I think it's it's stitched on a 40 count, so I will probably do a 20 count Ada. And I have a few options, so I'll have to pull the flosses and do a floss toss and see how I like it. I did get Pam at Stitch New England sells a lot of Atomic Ranch fabric, and I've never stitched on any of their fabric before, so I got a 20 count Ada in Mellow Stone. It's a very nice neutral. I was considering it for Serenity, but I think it might actually be too light. The fabric might be too light. I'm not sure. But again, I'm going to pull the flosses and do a floss toss and see if it will work. If not, I have other 20 count Adas. I can see if they will work. Oh, and then I also got some of the classic Colorworks for that. Barn Door said it used 3 skeins, and then Eve's Leaves. And then I think probably I will end up just doing DMC for the rest of the colors. And then I got this cute little Mill Hill kit. Cactus, Christmas cactus. So cute. And I think that's it. That is it for my purchases. Not too bad for a whole month, And some of it I purchased like back in June, and it just recently arrived. So I guess that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully it won't be another month before I come back. I'm hoping I think not next weekend, maybe in 2 weeks. My son is actually heading back to school, but I think he's gonna probably go back like on a Thursday or a Friday, so I should be free that Saturday, and I should have a quiet house. So hopefully there'll be no kitchen noises or anything like that. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye.